Then Gina said, I called your friend Jen and she said that things weren't adding up. Again, bringing up the whole thing about Katie. And Katie's like, Gina even says, those are her words, not mine. She called you a con artist. She says that at the meeting.
She said,
And
Jen is now questioning your authenticity.
Yep.
And even called you a con artist.
It really is. First you blindside her and then you say this to her. Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join 3 Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers! Welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
I am so excited that Orange County's back. We are recapping season 19, episode number 1, Revolving Door of Lies. I think that this is appropriately titled.
Agreed.
I'm sure you noticed this. I've noticed, and it's not just the housewives, but I've noticed that Bravo shows are editing a little bit differently, and their intros and their music and their fade into their scenes is a little bit more upbeat.
Dramatic.
Yes, dramatic. I mean, I would say upbeat. I specifically noticed it with Below Deck. Or you didn't watch the latest Below Deck? Like when they give you
I got to be honest with you. I tried to watch it today. With
You
Captain
did?
Kerry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to watch it today because it's in my DVR. I don't like that guy. I can't get into it.
Like when they do like the intro of the castmates, like they throw in all these pictures at the same time. And then like they're doing like this little, they're talking just the whole way, like the way they're shooting it. And I was noticing the same thing with the OC, like the scenery that they're giving us. Like we started out like at everyone's house. Like we were at Shannon's new house. We were at Matt was
I did
doing
like that.
Like they're giving us a lot more like visuals. Like that we haven't seen before,
Right.
So I like that because I'm normally taking notes and I'm not really watching, but now I have to just really stop and actually watch it. Like I want to watch it. I want to see what's new. I want to see where they're at. I want to see, what's going on.
Yeah, I have been pausing a lot and rewinding a lot while I'm taking notes because I sit with my laptop on my lap and then I'm watching the TV but a lot of times, and I'm a fast typer.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I'm like, shit, wait, like I got to pause and rewind.
I've noticed I'm doing the same thing. And a lot of times I'm doing, because I'll use my iPad, I'm doing voice to text. And of course it screws it up, but that does help me a little bit, the voice to text. But I still have to stop it because there's a lot going on, especially
there's so much
when they're going back and forth because they're doing a lot of that. They start with like 2 people talking about one thing. And then they cut to another scene that has nothing to do with that. And then we have two other people talking about the same thing but it's a different angle. Are you noticing that too?
Yes, it's very confusing.
It really is.
It's just hard to keep up.
It's hard to keep up.
It's
and
like,
honestly,
it's like that, remember the show, This Is Us. Like Eric tried to watch that with me when it first came on.
And they do flashbacks.
But they're flashing back, they're flashing forward, then they're in present time. He's like, forget it, I'm out.
Mm-hmm, I know. But I was thinking about it when I was taking these notes. I mean, you and I are seasoned veterans on these shows. We've been watching for 19 seasons, right?
That's right.
So even for us, it's hard. I can't imagine if someone's going to start now.
Right.
Like they are going to be so lost. So any of our listeners that are just starting now, please bear with it or just come listen to us and tell your friends to listen to us because we really try and break it down.
Yeah. It's a lot though.
It really is.
It really has evolved.
No, it definitely has.
I mean, if you go back and watch season 1 of OC, it's night and day to what it is now.
It really is. It really is. So after we see all their houses and stuff, I was glad to see Shannon has a new place.
Yeah. Cute. Very cute.
It is cute. She picks up Katie. Katie just got back from Arizona. Her husband, Matt, was hosting a golf outing, and she's talking about how there were so many men there. But Shannon says that she doesn't see any men in her future for this year, that she's in a completely different place than she was last year. And I'm happy for Shannon if that is in fact what happens. I mean,
she even said like she's got a vision board and men aren't on it. So that's good.
That is good. That is good. And she's talking about how she's inviting all the ladies to go to the Golden Door. I did not look it up, but I definitely am going to look it up. Didn't realize what it was until we get there, until the end, that all these celebrities go there. And she was there a few weeks ago, and they told her that she could bring her friends. And then she
Is that
goes,
the place she went to with Jeff Lewis? It has to be, right?
Oh.
He went somewhere with Shannon.
And Beverly wasn't it Beverly D'Angelo?
Oh, I love.
I know it was. I think it was her. He went someplace with a couple of them. That may have been it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't even think of that. Now we're going to have to look that up. And they probably did it for like advertising reasons. That's certainly why they did it for OC and to invite the friends. I don't,
Yeah. Because when Shannon normally goes, she normally goes for a week. They were only going for the day.
Right. They were just going for the day. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then her and Katie are going shopping because Katie wants a new BMW. Okay. These are the kind of things like that I don't need to see. I really don't need to see you
because it's
shopping.
all like,
it's frivolous.
is she really going to buy that car?
Right. It's just
I mean,
frivolous.
she probably is, but like when we saw Britt go on Atlanta, it's like, you're not buying that car.
Yeah. I don't, those are the scenes I don't like to see. I don't like to see those frivolous scenes. But Katie's saying that she feels pretty close to Shannon because she felt like she was the only one that stuck up for her at the reunion. And she was.
She was.
She really was. Shannon starts telling her that Emily called her up and said that when she brought up her kids, Emily's kids, that she really crossed a line. And Katie said that she thought it was funny what her daughter had said. Now, this is kind of where it gets confusing. So I guess after the reunion, when it came up that Katie's daughter, Kylie, babysat for Emily's kids, and she said that Emily's kids said,
"We don't like Heather. She's mean to my mom."
Exactly. And Emily got all bent out of shape. She said, I never talk about this in front of my kids. There's no way that my kids said that. That never happened. But then we see the scene where we do see her talking in front of the kids. Not that specific thing, but we do see it happening, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I don't know. Emily used to be one of my favorite housewives. Last season, the way she acted, how she acted superior and like Little Miss Lawyer, and how she was coming for Shannon and how she was coming for Katie. And I lost a lot of respect for Emily. I did, because I don't think that she needs to be that mean girl bully just to be friends with Heather.
And that's exactly why she's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And Tamra. She wants to stay in Heather and Tamra's good graces, and she figures this is how. But here's the thing, Emily. You can't. She basically called Katie an unfit mother at the reunion. She said there are 2 reasons you lose your children.
That's right.
You called her an unfit mother.
Yes.
And outed her custody situation with her ex-husband.
Yes. Yes.
So you can't now say, don't bring my kids into it.
I totally agree. I think what she did was way worse. I think what she did was way worse.
And now I'm wondering, like, did she do that at the reunion because of what happened with the daughter? Like, that's probably why she came into the reunion and acted like that. But still, it's way worse. You're a lawyer, Emily. That's a legal situation you're talking about. We're not talking about an 8-year-old may or may not making a comment. You're talking about a legal custody situation that sounds like it might still be going on because her one kid doesn't even live with her.
Right. Right.
And her daughter doesn't talk to the father.
Right. And we don't know, because we had talked about this last season when we met Katie. We weren't really sure. We kind of thought there may have been some sort of abuse situation and that she kind of left with what was on her back, which is why she didn't have a stable place, which is why she lost the custody, because her family wasn't supporting her because they liked him so much. Now, again, we don't know the whole story, but the fact of the matter is there are children involved. And I agree with you. I think what Emily did at the reunion in regards to Katie and what she said about her was way worse.
Yeah, and how come nobody is saying it? Like, Gina's coming hard for Katie now. Like,
I don't know.
What are you doing? Well, listen, Katie said one thing about Heather. That's it. But that's who Heather is.
Right.
That's who Heather is. She's never going to let it go. She's never going to get past it. She thinks she's the HBIC and everybody's going to do her dirty work. And Emily's doing her dirty work. And that's it. And she's not going to be happy until Katie's off the show.
I'm very curious to see what happens next week with the lie detector test. I hope that is in fact next week or just what's coming up.
I mean, have we seen a lie detector test on Housewives yet? Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Remember Lisa Vanderpump did one about the Lucy Apple Juicy?
Yeah, but she did it by herself,
I think that's what she did.
I don't think we saw that. Did. I don't think we saw that. Like, it wasn't like on camera where we saw everybody there. Like,
it was just talked about that she did it.
I don't think we saw the
But she did it like on her own. Like she hired a private company, which I'm sure these women are doing too, but they're
filming it. They're filming it. Right. So they're all there. I mean, then I just thought it was interesting that when she's telling Shannon what happened, that, her daughter, Kylie, went on a podcast and talked about it. And then that's when the ex-nanny reached out and said, everything she's saying is true. Your daughter is not lying. And Katie's like, well, you can contact the podcast if you want to get your side of the story out. And she didn't listen. The podcast was the podcast. It was out there, whether she told her which podcast it was or not. It was public information.
I totally agree with you. I have that in my notes. Like, she didn't need Katie to tell her what podcast she was on. The girl
was already out.
There's a thing is Google. You Google it, you find out what the podcast is,
and you
DM contact them.
That's it. Right. I thought it was interesting that it was TRH.
I don't like all about TRH. I can't stand them.
I don't either.
But any podcaster who got a DM from Emily Simpson's ex-nanny would have jumped all over that.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Yes, 100%. I completely agree.
So,
right? I thought that whole thing was bullshit. I'm like, are you really?
Yeah.
Is this really where you're going with this?
Yeah.
And by the way,
I mean,
her
she
daughter's
didn't
an
need
adult.
Katie to tell her. Right.
Katie's daughter's an adult. So what Katie's daughter does. She can't control her.
And she said that at the reunion.
She absolutely did. And she did ask her daughter to take something down because she did say something that was a little bit off color. And she did take it down, but it took a while.
Something
but
about
again,
hoes. She called them all hoes.
Something like that. But again, she's an adult, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Then we find out that Gina and Travis, Gina actually made the decision for them to move back in together. I don't know if they bought this house or not, but it's in the same neighborhood and it's 2,800 square feet and it's 5 bedrooms. So they'll have enough space and not be all crammed in, which I'm so happy for her about that.
Me too.
And Travis.
Me too. Yeah.
I think it's interesting that she had to go to Bali to figure this out, that she had this, awakening while she was in Bali. That
she connected with the wind.
Yes.
And discovered she was living in fear.
Yeah. So just like, okay. All right. So Emily comes over to see her new place and Gina starts telling her that she went to the dog beach with Jen and Shannon. And again, they're talking about the whole Katie and podcaster thing, which is why I say it gets confusing because basically they're saying the same thing that we already knew, right? That Kylie did the podcast and Jen said to the nanny, you can contact the podcast to get your story out. Katie says that Emily bringing up the custody of her children at the reunion, making her look like a bad mom, which we just said, I totally agree, is way worse.
Totally agree.
They both agree that Emily and Katie should just sit down and talk. I agree that should happen. Then we see Stella calls Shannon, and she is in Amsterdam living her best life. I like Shannon's daughters.
Me too.
I really do.
Me too. I like that the two are in New York together.
I do. I like that too.
Too bad they didn't get on that Next Gen NYC show.
You know what? I think that they're doing okay. I actually, speaking of that, I saw somebody asked Terry Dubrow because there's going to be an LA version, Next Gen LA, and he couldn't completely
We're just
confirm.
breeding a whole new generation of entitled people who have zero talent, who are just going to get famous for being on TV, and we're going to watch it. I'm not.
Oh, well, I am. I'm going to watch it. I am going to watch it. But Max, no, not Max. Nick, his son Nicky was approached to be on it. He hasn't confirmed it.
Is he still doing real estate, did they say?
Did not say. They did not say. We find out that Max is in Paris and she's doing well. She suffers from anxiety. So Heather initially tried to talk her out of going to Paris because of the anxiety, but she's doing well and she's, glad that I guess she didn't talk her out of it, right?
Yeah, I think it was a little irresponsible of her though. And I know that this is just who Heather is and she just thinks she's so funny. But when she's like, who could have anxiety in Paris? The food, the this, the that.
Right.
If your child really has anxiety, you
Yeah.
know that none of that shit matters.
Right. No, 100%.
So it's kind of a foolish thing to say.
No, I completely agree. And then we see they're talking about their house that they bought in Beverly Hills, and when they bought it, they had all these plans to do this big remodel, and the builder was in on the plans. And then all of a sudden, the builder comes back with a price that's $8 million over their budget after he tore the house apart. Well, that seems a little irresponsible contract-wise from the Dubrows.
I think that their scenes are all so overproduced, it's disgusting.
Mhm.
And I think that the way they talk, he's like 45,000, spend that on a party at Nobu. Well,
Right.
then why are you sweating $8 million over your budget to build a house in Beverly Hills? There's something more to the story, but we'll never know because they don't really show their lives. You know, they're like the Meredith Marks.
Hmm.
They're not really showing us what's really going on. Let's face it.
You're probably right. We're not gonna
Right?
see.
Isn't that odd that they would
I
be
agree with you.
sweating?
8 million, I mean, yes, 8 million is a ridiculous number to be over budget, but considering how much money they made on their last house and how much money he continues to make, and he's got the new season, which I want to see, the new season of Botched where he has Brielle Bierman on and Kim Zolciak and all the fillers, and I think that, I wanna see it. I think it's horrible that these young kids
Why they
are
changed
doing
that
this.
show. Like, why are they putting why are they putting these people on now? Like, I like seeing, like, normal people, regular people that aren't already famous, like
Well,
but
I
I
think
guess
they do
maybe they
both.
just ran out, like
I think they do both, though. I don't think that they just do just happens to be one of the episodes. I mean, they do other people too, I
okay.
believe.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
not like a whole new premise of a show.
No, no, no. No, no. I think this just happens to
I
be.
thought it was.
No, no. This just happens to be one of the episodes.
I wonder if he's gonna have Brandy Glanville on. Remember he said he was gonna help her?
Well, I don't know that he would have her on the show. He definitely said he was gonna help her. Brandy has said that she's talked to him, and I think he is trying to help her behind the scenes, but this is not just a question of plastic surgery. This is not just botched plastic surgery. There's a
Oh,
lot
no.
going on with
Yeah.
Brandy.
Plus, if it's a
There's a
Bravo show, they're not gonna probably let her on.
Well, regardless of that, like,
She was
I don't.
trying to sue them.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well. I get it.
So, yeah, the $45,000, they're gonna put the floors in, I guess, whatever. And then we see Emily is sitting at the counter with her boys, and she's talking to them about lunch, and Luke has had Pirate's Booty and Gatorade today. We find out the twins are almost 10, so they're still 9, and 2 months ago, she took him, Luke, to a therapist and said that he was diagnosed with ARFID, which stands for Avoidance Restricted Food Intake Disorder. I actually had never heard of that before.
Me
Have you heard
neither.
of it? Okay.
Nope.
I'd never heard of it. The therapist was explaining he doesn't understand that he feels hungry, like food in general disgusts him. I thought to myself, well, this is very interesting. I also saw before I even watched the episode that she was getting so much hate online for putting this story out about her son having an eating disorder at his age. Like, how insensitive of her. I'm like, again, I'm not annoyed with Emily, but I don't think she did anything wrong with telling this story,
I mean,
especially if she can help other people. Yes, he is only 10 and he is a minor, but this is what's
I
going
think
on in
it's
her
really a
life.
conversation between she and Shane,
Right. This is
and
what's
whatever
going
they
on.
choose to put out there, they choose to put out there.
It's right. It's their family. It's
I
their family.
understand that this kid doesn't have a say right now in it unless they talk to him about it, but,
Well,
he does seem a little uncomfortable when she's asking him, like, "Did you eat today? What did you eat today?
mhm.
Like, are you gonna eat this?" But, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like she shouldn't be getting hate for this. I understand people think that it's her family. It's her and
It's
her
what she's
husband's
going
family.
through. At least she's
It's
putting
what's
something real out there.
what is really happening in her life.
Right.
I know that what's her name? Jill Zarin's daughter had made a comment when what other housewife kid came out with something that was very personal, and they
No,
thought
I
that they were gonna
remember this. I
they thought
forget.
that they were gonna regret it, and I can't remember who it was, but she had very strong feelings about it because she felt like, she went through a lot with her arthritis and she didn't have a choice, but whoever she was talking about, and it will come
Mary
to me.
Cosby's son.
Yes, it was Mary Cosby's son, and they did not feel that way, like, they wanted to put this story out there. Now, granted, Mary Cosby's son is older, and is an adult and able to make that decision. But I don't think what she's doing is wrong. I think that she's going to help people. I do. I think when you're
I think
honest.
that's the reason she's doing it. I had never
Right.
heard of this, and, we both had people in our families that have mental health issues,
Yes.
and we know a lot, and I've never
Right.
heard of this, and I did see a couple of posts where people were coming at her, and somebody said, I think it's somebody like, Bravo Snark Side or Bravo and
It
Betches.
probably was.
One of the ones that come up a lot said, "I'm glad she did this because my child has that." And
Mhm.
people do not talk about it. People are not educated on it. So,
Right. And that's
I
the whole
mean,
thing, is that
listen,
people
it's up to
don't.
her.
Right. It's her family.
Right, it's her family.
Emily, in her confessional, she's crying and, she's explaining that, you know, he says he's starving, but then he doesn't want to eat anything. And she offers him everything and he just doesn't eat. And we both know this. Like, when our kids are hurting, we're hurting. It's the
Yep.
most
You're only
helpless
as
feeling.
happy as your saddest child.
Yep. Is the most, as a parent, as a mother specifically, you just feel helpless. All you want to do is fix the problem. And there's no way you can't love it. You can't love it out of them. Like, whatever it is they're going through, you can't just love it out of them. And it's so hard to go through. And I saw kind of in the upcoming and even in this episode, as much as I love Shane, Shane doesn't get it. And I know what that's like. Our husbands don't always feel the same way we feel, and they're not as passionate
Right.
about it as we are. Husbands in general, men in general, think that we are being dramatic and overreacting when that is not the case. And you feel lonely because this is your partner. So I'm glad that that's going to come out. I'm glad that they're going to talk about it, because I think that that's a real issue that many people face,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yep, absolutely.
Unlike the next scene where we see Tamara and her psychotherapist, Dr. Michaela Sarno.
So, not to use a Lori word, but what a juxtaposition to go from Emily talking about a real mental health
Yes.
issue in her family and being so real and raw to Tamara fake crying.
As she walks in, she's been
I
crying
can't
since
take
last
her,
week's
man.
session, and she starts talking about stuff that she doesn't want to talk about, and it's just very emotional.
She wants sympathy from us.
Mhm.
You're not getting it.
Mhm. I
You
know.
act awful on this show. I like you on the pod, but you act awful on this show. She blamed everyone for her issues, her ex-husband, her daughter, her father.
Yep. Yep. She doesn't take ownership. She just
At
doesn't.
all.
She's that housewife that never says, "I really screwed up. I'm so sorry. How can I make this better?" I don't think those words have ever come out of her mouth her entire life.
Never. Just the fact when we didn't get there yet, but she starts saying how Shannon, I forget what she said, it's in my notes, and I'm thinking, you crushed Shannon last season.
Mhm.
All you did was come at her for her drinking,
Yep.
and nobody was buying it.
Right. Right. Nobody was buying it. Nobody was buying it.
Like, she says she brings up the spectrum diagnosis and how she got annihilated. It's not that people don't think you have feelings. You're just not a nice person. You're just not a nice person. At least on the show, you're not. Maybe in real life with your real friends, you are, but not on the show.
Yeah, it's that you came on the show and you annihilated Shannon and people gave you shit for it. And then you go on the reunion and say, "Okay, I screwed up. I'm going to go to therapy." Then you go to therapy, and after your first session of therapy, you go on your podcast and again start crying and say, "I just found out I have autism." What?
Brutal.
It's like, come on. You want us to believe that. Okay. All right. So then you get annihilated for that. So then you go on to your show, your reality show, and your first scene is with the therapist who told you that, some of these symptoms, these trauma responses can mimic autism. But we need to test you for that. Okay. Talk about produced. It's bullshit.
It's
It's just,
such bullshit.
it's
It's
bullshit.
such bullshit. I don't know. I don't see anyone saying, think Tamara's we keep Tamara on the show. 'Cause it's kinda like Jax. It's like he just brings a negative vibe. He just brings toxicity to any situation. And I feel like Tamara's the same way. She's not moving. She always says she moves storylines. So she always looks like the villain. You're not moving storylines. You're being nasty and toxic.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Then the next thing we see is Jen and Ryan are shopping and they're looking for casual beach attire for the wedding because they want to get married on the beach and they don't want to wear dresses and suits. I really think that she does want to wear a bikini to the wedding. I think that's the plan. Listen, if anybody
And
can
I
pull it
loved
off.
how he said the kids are in favor of it. My kids would not be in favor of it.
Oh God, can you imagine?
I don't look like Jen though, but
listen,
even
if
if I
anybody could pull it off, it's Jen. And I'll tell you
for
what,
sure.
if I had Jen's body, I'd be getting married in a bikini on the beach too. Why not? Why not? She worked for it or she bought it. Either way, it's hers. However she got it, it's hers,
Whatever.
right?
Whatever. She
it's
clearly
hers.
works out and she has a yoga studio.
Yeah, yeah.
But Ryan hit the nail on the head when they were talking about Tamara, and he said the therapy's fake.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because she says that, she's got us working on the guest list and she doesn't want to invite her. I don't blame her. Don't invite her. You don't need to invite her. It's your wedding. Do not invite her.
Do not let that woman anywhere near your wedding.
Nope. And he said, she had that baptismal 10 years ago. I can't believe it's been 10 years since she had that. You're right. If that didn't help her, certainly this isn't going to help her. It's all fake.
It's all fake.
It's all fake. And then we see Heather and Emily. They meet up and they're talking about Max being in Paris. Again, how she's doing great. Tamara shows up a little bit later. And I don't know if you picked up on this, but she ordered sparkling water and lime. Did you pick on that?
I didn't.
Yeah, so she didn't order alcohol.
She must not be drinking this season.
Yes, which is a good thing because I don't think she should be drinking.
Very good thing. Yeah.
They tell her she looks too skinny, and she says it's stress from therapy. I actually agree. She really does look too skinny. I mean, did you see her on Watch What Happens Live?
I did not. I did not watch it. And not for any other reason except that I watched OC on Peacock and it didn't just come on after.
Yeah. So when we get to that part, I'll give you my thoughts on that whole thing. And I generally, as a rule of thumb, I do not like to talk about people's appearances because I just think they are what they are. But I have some thoughts on this. So I will be talking about it a little bit. She says she's been in therapy for 4 months. And she also talks about how she went out with Katie the other night and she wanted to go to the Quiet Woman. Of course, nothing good ever happens at the Quiet Woman, right? So she gets there and she says she hasn't talked to her in quite a while. And Katie says, "Why did you block me on Instagram?" And she's like, "Well, there was a blogger putting out stories that I make fake accounts and that I'm out there lying." And how did that I don't understand how that all got back on Katie. Like, there's many bloggers that say crazy stuff about people. Like, how did that
Tamara
get
probably
back
does have fake accounts. Let's face it.
I mean, we know Jax does, right?
Right.
So I'm
They're
sure
kind of like the same person.
Yeah, I'm sure she does too. She's like, "You reached out to a blogger," and Katie's like, "No, the blogger reached out to me. I have it in my DMs." This is then Tamara plays her a voicemail. I thought that was a little weird. What are your thoughts on that? Because the blogger does say,
Yeah. The voicemail, yeah.
The blogger reached out to her. And Katie is saying that the blogger DM'd her and she responded back.
Right. And this is what they're all like, show it. Like, show it. Why didn't Katie just show it right there at that dinner?
Well, she says, because she kind of ends it with, I'm going to have to. She said, she reached out to me and I responded. I never called her. I don't have her number. I don't know her name. I'm going to go home and figure this out, she said. I'm going to search through my DMs. Those were her exact words when she left the restaurant. And then when we see her at the Golden Door, she still doesn't have an answer.
Yeah, I would have had it up on my screen, screenshot it, and text it to her right away. Here, boom, proof.
I would have too. So I do think that she is lying. I do think that there's enough receipts there that she is lying.
I think that maybe Katie didn't think she was coming back, so she probably did do a bunch of things off camera in between seasons before she got that letter saying, sure, come back.
Well, Jen says that when Jen was asked about it, she says, I think that, Katie doesn't really think she's lying because these bloggers are her friends. Because she also said to Jen, she was at this party and there was these bloggers there. Like, I think for whatever reason, maybe because of Matt being in the hosting world and like announcing and doing things like that, maybe she's around these people. Because even what she said about, and when she first came on about the paparazzi, her friend like runs the paparazzi. These are the people.
Yeah, she did say that.
These are the people that she hangs out with. Like, these aren't people that she goes and seeks. Let me contact this person. These are just people in her everyday life that she's at parties with. So she is having a conversation with them. She's not contacting a blogger in her mind. She's just having a conversation with somebody at a party. That's how Jen explained it. I don't know. Like, I don't really know what the answer is on this, but I do think that it does look bad for her that there's an actual voicemail and she has not produced the receipts that says that she DM'd.
Yeah, she should have, by now, the receipt should have been shown.
Yes, I agree. Then we see Emily said that Jen said, and Emily and Jen and Katie are supposed to be very good friends. That Jen said that, this is the telephone game I don't like. Emily said that Jen said, she tells Gina, not that Emily heard it. Jen tells Gina that she thinks that she isn't consistent with her stories, and she's the one who uses the word con artist. Now, Emily is now sharing this information that she got from Gina, who got it from Jen. I mean, come on. Seriously,
and then you see Gina saying it to Jen, and she's like, I don't remember saying that.
Right. Like, this is the stuff that they do that gets me a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Tamara says that Jen has a way of telling people what they want to hear. And then she talks about how she's sending out the dates and she's pretty sure that she's not going to be invited.
She's not invited.
No.
You got that right.
No. So then this other scene, so we see Katie at the coffee shop and we see that Gina and Emily are on their way there. And Emily on the way there starts crying and telling Gina what's going on with her son and that she thinks that he may have autism. And I'm like, well, this is not really the time to be going to meet with Katie after you just started crying to Gina about what's going on with your son. Like,
like maybe Emily's just, I mean, I can't imagine going through what Emily's going through and having to deal with like bullshit with
this is
a group of
bullshit.
friends.
This is stupid bullshit.
I'd be like,
right?
Yeah, I'm good. I have like real shit going on.
Right. But the other thing I think is so interesting is that Gina totally threw Katie under the bus. Katie thought she was meeting Gina. She had no idea that Emily was showing up. And that was so not cool.
Totally blindsided her. Totally.
Like, that was not cool. Like, why did Gina have to do that?
I don't know. I think we're seeing a different side of Gina and Emily now, and I don't love it.
I don't either.
I don't love it at all.
I don't either. I really don't. So Gina said that, she knew about the eating disorder, but, the therapist said that they can go hand in hand and there's going to need to be some additional testing and, they're going to have to figure it out and go from there. And obviously Gina can relate because when her daughter was, diagnosed with sensory processing disorder, she felt like a horrible mom. I can remember the day that I did a parent-teacher conference and it was in second grade and the teacher told me that she thought my son had ADHD. And I thought, wait, what? There's something wrong with my son? Are you nuts? I thought it was the worst thing ever. And then I went and I had him tested and we went through all the things. And guess what? He has ADHD. No big deal. We know what it is and we know how to deal with it, right? But at the time, I know the feeling. I know that feeling like, oh no, how did I not know this? Okay, the kid was 7.
Well, of course you feel guilty.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. You find out that there's something wrong and then you do everything you can to get them in the right direction. That's all we can do as parents, right? Then Gina said, I called your friend Jen and she said that things weren't adding up. Again, bringing up the whole thing about Katie. And Katie's like, Gina even says, those are her words, not mine. She called you a con artist. She says that at the meeting.
She said, Jen is now questioning your authenticity.
Yep.
And even called you a con artist, which is kind of a fucked up thing for Gina to do.
It really is. First you blindside her and then you say this to her. And then, and then she's like, a con artist? I talk to Jen 10 times a day. Like, if she really thought I was a con artist, I think she would have told me. Right? And then we see that they play it back where she says it to her in the car and she's like, I don't think I said those words. Like, I don't know where that came from.
I don't think she said it.
I don't think she did either.
I don't think it's something Jen would say.
I don't either. I don't. Because even when she explained it, she's like, listen, what she's saying to you isn't a lie. It's what she believes happened. Okay, she talked to a blogger. They were at a party together. She didn't call up the blogger.
Right. I
Gina
don't
says,
know.
so then Gina says to Emily, okay, wait. Gina says, Katie says, because your ex-nanny came to me, Emily and Gina both say, yeah. Katie said, I should have ignored her, but I was pissed.
Yeah.
Emily says, well, that's not an excuse. And then Emily starts going off on her. Like, that's not an excuse. Then Gina says
She
to
says,
Emily,
I didn't retaliate and bring your kids into it. Yes, you did.
yes, you did. Yes, you did. You absolutely did.
Outed her custody situation on national television and called her an unfit mother. Yes, you did.
You absolutely did. And then Gina looks over at Emily and says to Emily, well, you can apologize for going into her past. Really, Gina?
I mean,
And
at
she
least she did
does.
apologize. Yeah,
She
at
did.
least she did
She said,
apologize.
I apologize for that, but I was pissed. Okay, so it's okay for you to be pissed, but it's not okay for her to be pissed?
Right.
Emily says, I appreciate your apology, but I don't have any trust in you. Okay. Katie leaves. She's like, okay, I got to go pick up my son. Then she goes to hugs Gina. She goes to hug Emily, and Emily's like, I'm good. I'm like, and then they go, let's get in the car. And Emily says, well, we have to take our donuts. And then Emily starts putting the donuts in her pocket.
Yeah.
One donut at a time. 3 donuts. One donut at a time. She puts them in her jacket
pocket. Not even wrapped in a napkin.
I know. Just loose.
What the
loosey
hell
goosey.
was that?
I don't know. I don't know.
What are you doing?
She wanted those donuts. She was not leaving those donuts there.
Crazy.
Oh my God. When I saw her with those donuts, I literally did laugh out loud. But then I laughed when she ate the turkey sub in the sauna too. So the next thing we see is all the ladies are getting ready to go to the event at the Golden Door, and Shannon has gifts for everybody. She's invited everybody, including Tamara, even though they're not on good terms. She's said that there's something magical about the energy there. You can't, it was so funny. You can't put a price on that, but it costs $12,950 for 8 days. But I come out a better person. I'm like, oh my God, Shannon.
This is where Tamara said that Shannon stabbed her in the back. How? She never stabbed you in the back.
She said she stabbed her at the back at this place.
This my note says Shannon invites Tamara to her event, so hopefully Tamara can heal herself. Tamara said that Shannon stabbed her in the back, but Tamara was the one that came for Shannon last season, all season.
Yes,
she didn't.
Exactly. No, she absolutely did not.
This is so Tamara's packing for it or getting ready for it, and she's talking to Eddie.
She's talking to Eddie. Okay. Yeah.
She said it to Eddie, and Eddie goes right along with it. Like, come on.
Eddie's a follower. He's a little lost
he's a
sheep.
lapdog. Yeah.
And that's, all these famous people go there, Oprah and all these people. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I actually, $13,000 for 8 days. I mean, I know that's a lot of money, but if you're a celebrity, that's really not that much money.
If you're a celebrity, absolutely not.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's that much money that they're like going crazy about this place, but whatever. Maybe this is where Jax went when he went to rehab.
Well, maybe. Did they have their phones?
Yeah, I think they probably do. Tamara shows up and she's all down, and they ask her how Teddy's doing, and this is when we find out that Teddy's actually in ICU, and then she found out about the multiple brain tumors. All of this, I genuinely feel bad for her about. Like, this is all real stuff. This is all real stuff. It is her best friend. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine, what her headspace is like doing this. So I'll give her grace on that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But then Emily, before Katie gets there, Emily's like, why did you invite Katie? She said, one of the reasons I come to the Golden Door is to find clarity. And I thought this would be a great opportunity for all of us to see if we can heal and move on. And Gina's like, I don't trust her. And Emily said, behind closed doors, she's trying to damage us. Now, meanwhile, she's not even there yet. So Katie and Jen still aren't there. And they're all having these conversations about, like, why is she even invited? And Emily said, she's trying to damage us. And she made a list of the things that Katie lied about. And you see this big, long list, and she starts like rambling it off. Shannon once again said, this is a place of healing. And then Katie and Jen show up together. Like, they're all saying this is so uncomfortable. Yeah, it was uncomfortable because you guys were being assholes talking about her.
When Heather said, when I get a bad feeling about someone, I'm never wrong.
Yes.
I don't have a bad feeling about you, Heather.
Right. I'm vindicated. I'm not going to say I'm vindicated that I said she was lying to begin with. Actually, you just did, but.
Right.
Okay.
And she wasn't lying. Those photos were totally staged.
So then we find out that the ladies are going to split up, and some of the ladies are going to do Tai Chi, and the other ladies are going to do that taiko drumming thing. I would want to be doing that drumming thing.
I like the drumming thing.
I thought that looked pretty cool.
Well, at least you get a little aggression out.
Yeah. So Emily and Gina and Shannon and Katie are doing the drumming, and Gina, Heather, and Tamara are doing the Tai Chi. Tamara says, keep Jen away from me today. I have no time to deal with her nonsense. Which, okay, whatever.
Yeah, she said, I don't know what Jen's so mad about. They were coming for me on social media. She really just plays the victim.
She doesn't see her part in any of it.
Nothing.
I mean, what she was saying about Jen and Ryan and the FBI. And
I mean, come on.
The money laundering and, what she said on Watch What Happens Live about Venus CBD making more money than he stole. And then the next day she's like, oh, I meant that was embezzled. Like, come on. You were coming for them.
Right.
Both of them.
Right.
And Jen's right. Like, I'm sure she did say, hot gym guy is here.
Absolutely.
And she's pissed.
I believe everything Jen says about what Tamara said about Ryan.
I do
Absolutely.
Too. I do too. I do too.
Because that's who Tamara is.
Yep. So then they all get, I guess they go to eat lunch after that. And Heather says, you have to stop with the bloggers. And then Jen says, well, the difference with me is I've taken the time to get to know Katie. And Gina said, you have concluded that you're confused and concerned. I don't know what that means. I don't know. But then Katie says, I did ask Jen if she told you I was a con artist. And she said that she never said that. She didn't actually, she didn't say I never said that. Jen said, I don't really know if I use that word about you.
Right.
I wish she would have just said, I didn't say that.
I didn't say it. I know.
But she didn't say that. I wish she would have said that.
I mean, Gina's really not a liar, so she could have said it. I can't picture Jen saying that about anybody, but yeah, she didn't just come out and say, I never said that.
Yeah, I didn't like that she didn't really stand by that. So then she said, well, what does it matter? Does it affect you and Travis or me and Ryan? Emily says, I had to hire an attorney to sue the nanny. Do you understand that, Katie? That I had to send her a cease and desist for invasion of privacy and defamation, and I have to pay this attorney who's very expensive. If you ignored it, I wouldn't be dealing with this. And poor Katie's sitting there. But what about what Katie had to do? And what about her custody thing?
Exactly.
But you could see by the look on her face, she's not strong enough to fight this fight with Emily.
She's not. She's definitely not.
She's not. And she has the ammunition, but she doesn't know how to use it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like she should be fighting this fight because I think she's valid in fighting the fight. She just doesn't have it in her. Emily's too, and she's too attorney. She just comes at her like at full force.
Yeah, but I mean, they all talk to bloggers. They all go on podcasts. They all talk about stuff. Like, I just feel like they're holding her to a different standard than themselves.
I do too. Emily said, well, how am I supposed to have a conversation? Because then, she invites them all over to go to her place for lunch. She's like, I'd like to invite you over, whatever that something pot.
Yeah. Hot.
Yeah. It's like a way to, I don't know, sit down and discuss and, break bread and,
Right.
She's like, how am I supposed to sit down with you and ask you how you're doing? How am I supposed to do that? Okay. Well, I kind of see your point there, but Shannon says, I'm uncomfortable when I see a bunch of people going after one, which is, again, what's happening. Shannon's the only one who is sticking up for Katie. Even I don't feel like Jen is. Although Jen is sitting with her, she's not fighting for her. And again, I don't know if Jen has it in her either. I don't know that that's in their makeup, right?
I know. I think that it's becoming like the Emily, now Gina, Heather, Tamara. It's just becoming something.
Yeah, it's the mean girl. So Tamara and Gina said no one's
going. Girl.
Yeah, no one's going after one person. And Heather said after the reunion, I thought we made it very clear that no more digging up information on someone. And then after that, Katie, there was an incident with Tamara where you were telling the bloggers that she was setting up fake accounts. Katie said she DM'd me first, and then that's kind of where we end it, where they're going back and forth about did she or did she not? And
did she make the phone call or did she get a DM?
Right. And then
if she's friends with these people,
Right.
It's all very confusing, though, and it's stupid. Like, it's just stupid.
It is stupid.
Tamara talks about people all day long on her podcast.
Right. Right. I mean, we have a whole episode, and this is what we're talking about is 2 different bloggers and 2 different stories.
Right.
One from an ex-nanny and one about making fake accounts, and it just doesn't make sense.
No, it's stupid. And uninteresting, quite honestly.
It is. Shannon saying, after spending 8 days here, I had to use a landline. Like, there's no service. And then the ladies are like, well, they go on the Wi-Fi. And then Tamara's like, well, I would climb a tree just so that, I could get service. I'm like, oh, my God. Seriously?
Yeah. I agree that the proof should have been shown by now.
I do, too.
But
I do, too.
But who cares? Who cares? Yeah. We don't care.
No, we don't care. And I fear that this is going to be, I don't know how many episodes we're going to go through this. How many episodes do you think? Let's make a prediction.
Probably 3. Probably until Gretchen comes.
I was going to say 4. I think 4 episodes. So we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see.
So then Watch What Happens Live was Tamara and Stephen McBee Jr., who is on the McBee Dynasty, which I really want to watch. We have to watch it. I started watching the first season. These guys are hot. And they're real, right? And the bartender was John Hill. Andy says to Tamara, you're still here. And she says, I'm like a cockroach. I was like, oh my God, that is so true. And then I go on to say that I really don't like to talk about people's looks. But first of all, Tamara's face just looked so fake and so plastic. It just looked so fake. Her teeth were so white, it was ridiculous. But then we find out at some point in Watch What Happens Live, because Andy says, so that guy Stephen and his brother were there, Stephen McBee Jr. and his brother were in the audience, and they were smiling. And Andy says, are all these teeth God-given? Andy says, are those God-given teeth to all of them? And they both say yes. And Tamara goes, no, they're not. Mine's Smile, Texas. That's where mine are from. Andy said, your teeth are from Smile, Texas? And she's like, yeah.
It's got veneers.
Yeah, but turns out it's the same place that Frank Catania got his teeth, and Brittany got her teeth there too. And she says to Andy, I can get you teeth there too if you want. And Andy's like, no, I'm good. And she's like, Eddie's got teeth from there too. And I'm like, oh my God, she's talking about everyone's teeth.
Yeah.
But then this is what I thought was kind of funny. So they're doing questions. You know how Andy asks questions? So one of the questions he asked was asking Stephen, he said, so apparently in the show, he's there with this one girl, because one of the questions are, is he going to stay with her? In the beginning of the show, he said he's single, so they're not together. So Andy asked Stephen, do you like girls with super big boobs? And Stephen, like, that's a trick question. And Tamara's like, well, that's rude. And he's like, what do you mean? She's like, well, do you like men with big dicks? And he's like, yeah. She's like, do you like men with super big dicks? And he's like, yeah, kind of. She's like, well, do you discriminate against men with little ones? I was like, oh my God, she's having this whole conversation with him. But I will say that I think what he said was rude. It was a rude question to ask. Like, and I liked that she actually did call him out on it, even if it was as obnoxious.
It's a weird thing
as it was. Like, when she called him out on it, she was way more obnoxious than he was, and she was way more rude than he was. But I do like that she called him out on it, because he does ask rude questions. Why are you asking him, do you like girls with big boobs? Like, what?
Yeah. I'm so glad the guy didn't answer, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'll like, what do they call, like, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Damn it. Oh, well.
I don't know. Like, do you like, I don't know.
But so it's not respectful to women. Let's put it that way.
It's really not. It's really not. And like I said, I'm so glad that she called him out on it, even if she was way ruder than he was. Tamara's admitted that she's still in therapy. Andy asked her how it was going, and she's like, well, good. And Eddie said she's still angry. So I guess not so good. Then the poll question was, whose side are you on? Emily, Gina, and Tamara won at 81%. Was Emily, Gina, and Tamara against Katie? Whose side are you on?
And they won?
By 81%. Yep.
That people were on their side?
Yep. Whose side are you on, Tamara or Jen? Jen won by 80%. Do you feel like Tamara has changed from therapy? 85% of the people said no. Who's going to be caught in the most lies with the lie detector test? Katie, 71%. And Tamara was second.
We are going to find out that she lied a lot. Who got second?
Tamara.
That's great.
Getting married in swimwear, hot or not, 93% said not. Which McBee brother is more qualified to run the farm? Stephen Jr., who was the one who was there, 87%. And then that's when he started asking about the teeth. And that's pretty much where it ended, where, the Frank and the Brittany and everyone has the
Didn't she
same
say
teeth.
something that Shannon's like past her prime or something? Shouldn't be on the show anymore?
Yes, that was one of the questions. One of the questions was which housewife has overstayed their welcome or prime or something like that. And she did say Shannon. Yep, I didn't write
What a
that down, but
bitch.
yes. Yeah, she's a bitch. She really
And what
is a
did she
bitch.
say? She's now the longest running housewife, Tamara?
She is the longest running housewife. She is. But yeah, her face did not look good.
Is it only because OC's been on for 16? Like she's
19,
been on
19.
Right, but she came in season 3, right? And she was off for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But are they not taking that into consideration? Or she's
are.
still the longest standing even with that break?
She's still the longest standing with that because, I mean, it was Vicky, but Vicky's been gone. I mean, Teresa, it was only 15 seasons, right? Or 14 or 15?
14, I think.
Yeah, I think this
14
was
or 15. You're right. It could have been 15.
15. It's not Teresa. And that would be it. I mean, there's nobody in New York and Beverly Hills. I mean, Kyle's the next close second. It's got to be Kyle is the next one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, somebody was saying how long Erica Jane has been on. Erica Jane has been on, I think, 10 years. I think next to Kyle, she's the number 2 in Beverly Hills.
With Yolanda, right? She came on as Yolanda's friend. I remember that. Because
she did?
Yes, because like her first scene was with Yolanda at one of her doctor's appointments, I believe.
I don't remember, but Erica's been on a long time too. So that is the first episode of season 19 of the OC.
I don't know if I'm excited about this season, I'm going to be honest with you. If it's going to be all this nonsense about bloggers and who said what in the off season, stop treating each other like assholes. Like you're so mean to each other. You're very unkind to each other. So what do you think is going to happen in the off season?
Right. No, I agree. I don't want it to be that. I don't want it to be that. I do think that Katie's going to get annihilated. And I think we know that.
I think she
winds up
leaves.
leaving, right? I don't think she finishes the season. And I did see at one point, Shannon told her that what she was doing was illegal to Katie. So I don't know what that could be. Because, I mean, Shannon generally is not the one to throw stones because she does live in a glass house.
Yeah, and she and Katie seem to have really formed a friendship, so.
Yeah, so the fact that I see Shannon saying that. But you know what? I'm kind of excited to see Gretchen come take down Tamara. I am. I really am.
Oh, me too.
So this is what we're waiting for. This is what we're waiting for.
I'm in. Because that season that Tamara purposefully befriended Gretchen to basically get her off the show. She pretended to be Gretchen's friend. She was never Gretchen's friend. And then she turned on her as soon as she could.
Yeah, it's not cool. Not cool. All right, so that's it for OC. Until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please subscribe and give us 5-star reviews. Bye.
Bye.